Hello everyone, in this video I'm all again in the car. There's a lot of wind outside and I wanted to share about the experience that I had with my personal brand, building it for I think it was 2 years and a half, being very invested on building an audience and creating like a personal brand, and why at the end I ended up deleting all my YouTube channel, my Instagram, all the videos, all the 1,500 followers. Yes, I reached the point of 1,000 and then it went up again every day. Like there was more followers and more followers. But then I decided to leave it all, and that was a tipping point for me, because I went on burnout. I was very burnout for that personal brand. I lost all the passion, all the enthusiasm. And now I'm starting again with a fresh air, and also taking all those mistakes and doing it in another way. So that's why I want to address in this video. I want to share a little bit about that experience, and I want to share a little bit some key lessons that I learned. So to put some context, my journey started on 2021. At the end of the year, I had like a very bad time on my life, in the sense that I was heading into a big depression. Like I went into a depression. My life didn't make sense. I was finishing university and I didn't know what to do for work. I was very lost, like completely lost. And I had all this personality of being the best, being the one that, you know, achieves. And that's Enneagram type 3, by the way, if you know the Enneagram, the one that wants to always get the external validation. So being lost, to not know where I was heading was very hard on my identity or my ego, and all that went away. So when your identity, you know, falls, you know, you don't know who you are, and you end up in depression because your life doesn't make sense. Well, that was the starting point of a journey of looking for who I was, what was my purpose. And I ended up attracting to my life different tools that I call tools of self-knowledge. So the first one was the Enneagram. You know, it's I put all these tools on a series that I have that is called Tools and Systems. So those tools and systems were the ones that I was teaching in the past, and are tools and systems that have helped me through my journey, right? To gain more peace and understand myself better, and also being able to, see life in a different way, and have, more peace of heart, I think, and more rest on my soul. Anyways, the first one was the Enneagram, which is a personality tool. You learn your personality type, what you're looking in the outside, and so on. Then I moved on into human design. Human design was an awakening, because it was very different from Enneagram, which was a psychological tool, very mental. The human design was already talking about energies, your birth date, astrology, and I didn't know anything about that before. Then I went on into numerology, the numbers and your date of birth. You have different numbers. I also had then the Gene Keys. The Gene Keys really ended up this journey. I also learned a little bit of metaphysics. I also did a lot of healing techniques like constellations, energy clearings, Reiki, Akashic records, different stuff that I was doing just to know who I was and what was my purpose. Like that was my quest. So I started this YouTube channel. That's what I like, because I like long content. I'm a teacher and I like to teach, and I started sharing all these tools. Of course, I didn't know anything about business. I didn't know anything about online space. I didn't know anything, but I started with a lot of enthusiasm, and I started posting a lot of content. So I did some conferences. I did some workshops. I was always recording those and putting them to YouTube. I then created different series of videos where I was teaching, for example, human design. I was teaching numerology. I was teaching Enneagram. I was teaching jinkies. So I would do a whole YouTube channel where I was teaching the tools, because they are not so easy sometimes, and you need someone to explain it to you. And the good thing about me is that I come from a scientific background, so I'm very kind of good at bridging spirituality with science, and people like that in the sense that they can understand better and what is an energy and all that stuff. For me is very real. It's not like a woo-woo thing, so I can explain it in scientific ways. And that was why people was following me. They really liked my way of teaching. And of course, I was with a whiteboard and I was teaching in the whiteboard. That was very fun. The problem came in the business side, in the sense that I was giving away all this information for free. I was like putting a lot of energy into teaching, and I was making all these very valuable videos of teaching all the tools, teaching all the value, giving all this advice. And then I realized that I was wanting to have followers. I was wanting to have this validation from the outside. And at the end, I was not in a good money situation, in the sense that I really wanted to do this to gain money, to make money or to earn a living from this. But I didn't know because I was very inexperienced. So I was giving all this money away. And then, of course, people were asking for human design readings. They were asking for jinkies readings. And I started like that. I started giving readings. But I am not a person to give readings, because I'm not here to give readings. I'm here to talk. So basically, my thing is to take a microphone and talk. That's what I do in the videos. People ask me questions and I answer. That's what I'm good at. Or explaining things. And then I moved into online courses. So online courses where, for example, I would say an introduction to the human design in 1 month. And I'm going to teach you in 4 Sundays, 2 hours every Sunday. I'm going to teach you like the basics. And people would pay, I don't know, 200 euros, or I don't know where were the prices, but where were that range. And then, there was a time that I had like 25 students. So if you do 25 times 200, you get the math. And I did a lot of money. That was like, oh wow, I can do all that money in 1 month. Of course, I had a whole year and a half without earning anything, because you have to build the authority, and then fruits coming along the way, in the sense that it was not starting and already having money. It took like 1 year, I think 1 year and a half, to keep all these things going, and people trusting me and people wanting to know from me, right? But the moment I started learning about business, I started learning about, valuing yourself, not giving information or transformation for free, marketing in a way. I then wanted to do a online platform with all these courses. But then I realized that all the courses were already for free in the YouTube channel. So for example, now you're in this video and you're saying, I don't know anything about these tools. Well, then you would go to this platform and you will buy the courses and you will learn, because I will be teaching them. But the problem is that all these videos were already on the YouTube channel, and people were following me because I was giving all this information for free, and they were very happy because they were learning for free. Of course, we will learn afterwards that all these people, some of them were changing their lives, but some of them were just keep studying and were not applying anything, which is not my business and not my responsibility if anyone doesn't want to apply what they're learning. But sometimes when you put an offer and when someone buys something, they are giving their money, so they are more responsible of learning what they are paying for. When something is for free, we don't value it. And that's one of the lessons that I had. We have to be very careful when we give away things for free, because when you give something for free, yes, but there's not so much value, because if you really value what you offer, what you give, you would put a price because you value it, right? That's one of the experiences that I had. Anyone can have their opinion and the way of things. So I think all the business concept was getting on the way. then I started deleting videos and putting all these videos into the platform, which then killed the trust of all my followers, because it's like, oh, now I have to pay for this. I had it free. I also had some videos that I had in the YouTube channel and I had in the products. So people were telling me that, hey, I'm paying for this, but I also have it on YouTube. So this was another mistake. Another mistake that I had is I started doing this, it's called gift economy. It's basically you give sessions for free, and then you expect something back, in the sense that anyone that has gives you a gift back. But I was experimenting with that, in the sense that you do a session, for example, and the other person can give you anything that they want. For me, the problem is that in this gift economy, you have to give without expectation of what's going to come back. I was expecting a donation, right? So I was labeling as a free economy, gift economy, but at the end was a donation based. So I switched to donation based sessions, in the sense that I would give a session, I would help with the tools, and people would give me something, $12. There was one that gave me $200. It was a great experience, because you could see how people think about money, in the sense that a great session, someone gave me $12 because that's what they pay in the country to a psychologist. So they paid $12, so she's gonna pay me $12. Another person paid me $250. That was the highest payment that I had. Like I didn't ask for anything. And then I saw how arbitrary were prices, in the sense that people, have different mindsets around money, and they value things differently, and they pay you differently to the same stuff. So then you learn that you have to put your prices according to your own values and what you think, and not what something is gonna buy. You are the one that has to put prices, and then that's it. That's something I learned as well. But anyways, all these things came into place. Then I started switching from tools. I started talking about relationships, about money, about health, and I lost my way. Then I wanted to create a university, and I was all the time in social media. I was very anxious. I was looking at my followers all the time. I was looking at the videos all the time. I was all the time in YouTube. So I was spending so much time of my day on social media. And at the end, I was just running from this willpower instead of running from satisfaction. The fact that I lost all the enthusiasm, I was just doing it because of money or because of business. I didn't have any clue about making it a business, even though I was making some money, but I was, confusing the audience, because now I have readings, and now I have donations, and now I have courses, and now I have live courses, and I was like confusing everyone and changing my offers every week. Then I was making videos offering, and then I was deleting them, and it just came into a place where this was no longer sustainable, and I just felt very burnout. And also this happened with the fact that I have reached this point of my life where I had gained peace of soul, in the sense that I was not looking anymore for purpose. I was not looking anymore for who am I. I really gained peace with myself, and I didn't have this quest of learning more about myself. So the core foundation of the business or the YouTube channel was this question of who am I, what's my purpose, and reaching that resolution with myself lost all the sense of the channel, because the channel was driven by this question, and this question was no longer a personal question. So then all the enthusiasm of the channel went away. And then I reached a point where I decided to delete everything, because I really like cleaning my life. I really clean relationships. I clean my space. I clean stuff. I clean my body. And I think that energy was not me. Now I have learned so many things that I will share in other videos about my astrology and so on. But this is the message that I wanted to give you, so you have a little bit of context about myself and what I was doing in the past.